right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Giants Sports Talk Live morning edition. Glenn, yesterday Giants they squeaked out a win in San Diego, 7-6. They were actually able to get to the series win, but the Giants didn't make it easy at the end of the game between some of that pitching out of the bullpen and then the defensive miscues. It got a little bit weird there at the end.
A little bit weird. I got the Monday morning blues. We got 3 more weeks to talk about this before we can start talking playoffs. But last night, speaking of weird, the chat was heated. Boy, there was a good discussion. Just as many people ticked off at the play of Luciano yesterday as Fitzgerald. And by the end of it, we put everybody in their place. Fitzgerald had no business being overplaying the second base route that he was. What a big miscue. If you missed it, check the highlights. It was bizarre.
We talked about it at length yesterday and or I should say last night on the Giants Sports Talk Live post game.
And heated words in the dugout too.
Yeah, there were some heated words. It got a little bit weird. But you know what? I'm sure they'll make up.
Well, we always do.
Marty Lurie had a great tweet out there talking about the Cubs infield. We're talking about Tinker, Evers, and Chance. Well, the second baseman and shortstop. Mm-hmm. They hated each other. They didn't talk to each other for literally years on end. And guess what? They were one of the best infields in baseball. So
you heard it here first. Luciano. Who we got? Fitzgerald, Luciano, and Encarnacion. It's your Tinker's Evers Chance. All right. 7-6 final score. Do we have to look at what they did yesterday at the plate, or do you want to move on to what's going on tonight? What do you want to do?
You know what? How about we come back to that? Let's just see what's on the docket for today, because there is no Giants baseball today.
No.
So let's see what's going to happen in the rest of the league today.
Let's look at the docket. Yeah.
Let's do it.
What's on the docket?
There we go. First game, Miami at Pittsburgh. Except for Paul Skeens is going. I mean, that's the only good thing about the Miami versus Pittsburgh. You got Valente Beloso going against Paul Skeens. One thing I will say, though, Miami played some pretty good baseball against Philadelphia. As a matter of fact, they won the series. So take it for what it's worth. Again, both of those teams are out of it. It's just going to be nice to see Paul Skeens.
Yeah, another afternoon game in the Bay Area as Susan Slusser, it's Cole Sulser. Cole Sulser, who doesn't have a record this year, taking on Christopher Sanchez, 10-9. Really nothing to talk about there either. There's going to be a lot of those coming up to the end of the season, Eric. Philadelphia, 85-58. They're just playing it out. They want to be, I guess you would say, healthy, and they would want to get into the postseason. And as all these teams do that are postseason bound, you want to go in, a little pizzazz, a little crack in the bat. You just want to be playing good, solid, sound baseball.
Yes. And in Atlanta may be able to make some ground here. Again, Cincinnati is not going to be easy, but, Atlanta should be able to take care of some business against Cincinnati. Cincinnati will be visiting Truist Park in Atlanta. And, should be interesting. You got Nick Martinez going for Cincinnati. Charlie Morton, the venerable Charlie Morton. I think the guy's like 500 years old. No, the guy's like 4, but the guy still has a good fastball. But he'll be taking them out for Atlanta. Should be a good game there in Atlanta.
And the Atlanta Braves in a heated rivalry right now for playoff positioning. New York Mets are in Toronto. The Mets will send David Peterson and his wicked 9-1 record and 2.75 ERA to boot. Chris Bassett responds for the hometown Blue Jays, 9-13. I'm going to watch that one late this afternoon. That'll be at the Rogers Center in Toronto. That'll be broadcast on Rogers Sportsnet. I get that up here as I broadcast on location with you from Winnipeg. So I'll catch the game. And the reason I jumped ahead there to the Mets game, because the Mets and the Braves, those two are fighting for their playoff lives.
Yes, they are. It's going to be exciting. Speaking of Blackburn, that was a great acquisition the Mets made at the trade deadline. They made a great move in getting a really good pitcher to help solidify the rotation. Now you got Kansas. This is going to actually be a pretty good matchup. You got the Kansas City Royals going up against the New York Yankees in New York. Got Brady Singer taking the mound for Kansas City, and Carlos Rodon will be taking the ball for the New York Yankees. Should be a good game. Both teams are playing really well right now, so it should be a fun game in New York.
The casual fan, Eric, might say, what do you mean? Good game. Kansas City at New York. Well, look at the record.
Yeah,
Kansas City's
right.
at home, or on the road, rather, 79-65, Eric. 79-65.
Pretty good.
They're in the race of their own with Minnesota, and the Yankees are 82-61. So those teams much more evenly stacked than one would think. All right, Baltimore is in Boston today. Cade Povich will take on Brian Bello.
Yes.
Povich is 2-7. Bello's 12-7. The game's at Fenway Park. Baltimore, they had a rough weekend, but they're 82-62. Boston, they had a rough weekend too. They lost yesterday. They got beat up bad. They're 72-71. Much better game though, Eric, than some of the other matchups. I see the White Sox are coming up, but Minnesota, I mentioned, is in a bit of a race with Kansas City.
Yes, they are. They're in a hunt for that second and third wild card position for the American League. You got the Angels visiting Minnesota. You got Reed Detmers going for the Angels, and you got David Festa going for the Twins in Minnesota. You'll be able to catch that game on Fox Sports 1, 4:40 p.m. Pacific.
Always looks like a misprint when I see the White Sox. 33-1. I always laugh. 33-111, Eric.
Jeez.
Is there such a thing? 33-111, and Licky Lopez wasn't even good enough to stick on the team.
Nope.
I can't figure out White Sox baseball. Real men wear black, but I'll tell you what, 33-111 is not cutting it this year. Cleveland, 81-62. They've been a little skittish lately, so maybe this is where they pick up 2 or 3 straight wins. It's the Tribe, I should say the Guardians, up against the White Sox. And who's pitching? Nick Nastrini for the White Sox.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. He's 0-7. Joey Cantillo is pitching. He's 0-3 for the Cleveland.
Oh, it sounds like a hell of a pitching duel tonight.
Boy, oh boy, something's got to give. 2 winless pitchers. Joey Cantillo 0-3 and a 7. Look at this, Eric. Joey is 0-3 for Cleveland. His ERA is 7.71, and Nick is 0-7. His ERA with Chicago is 7.79.
The battle of the sevens.
Much closer than you thought. Going to be a good night for baseball
battle
there.
Of the sevens. Who will come out with the win?
Who do you think wins that one? What's your prediction?
I'm going to say Joey. Joey comes out with his first one.
I'm going to go with Joey as well.
I think, yeah, okay.
All right.
Chicago at L.A. Whew, look at that.
Late game.
It's going to be a good game. It's a late game, but it's going to be a fun game because Chicago is trying to stay in the thick of it. They're 5 games out, but it's going to be tough. You're going against the dreaded Dodgers, who've been playing some excellent baseball. Shohei Ohtani is absolutely on fire.
I know, Eric.
He could be your first 50-50 player ever. Wow.
Okay, you're gonna lean on the offense in this series, Eric, because that is, I mean, we're not talking Chris Sale and Snell pitching matchup here. Hendricks, he's 3-11, and Walker Buehler can't find the plate. He's 1-4 and a 5.
I think the ball's going to be flying. The ball. Think about it. It's going to be hot in LA.
96 degrees.
Right. You got 2 bad pitchers. Oh, the score is going to be like 25-32 or something. I don't know. Something like that.
Another heat wave. Sounds like the bats are going to heat up as well, Eric. You've got LA, Chicago as the last game on ESPN Plus that goes tonight. Yes. Giants with the night off. They'll open up tomorrow, taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. That is a Tuesday night game. Milwaukee 82-61, San Francisco 71-73. They've dipped below 500 again, coming off the win yesterday. Aaron Savali up against Hayden Birdsong at Oracle Park. I won't be there. I'm not disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. It's not going to. I don't have my hopes up for that one. Birdsong has been kind of scuffling. And of course, the Milwaukee Brewers are just a better team. So it should be interesting there in Oracle Park.
So you and I will have a show tonight. It's going to be a Monday night free for all. The guys in the chat will, I guess, decide what we're going to talk about.
They will take the bull by the horns and direct the conversation, baseball conversation.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
I'm sure a few of them will have one eye on us and the other, maybe the cross eye. They have one eye on us and the other eye over in the football game. So,
yep, it's that time of the year there, Glenn, where
I know. And not just football. You know who's playing tonight?
Yeah, exactly.
The Jets and the Niners.
Yes. So there is going to be a lot of people watching that game. Can't blame
but
them.
we don't
Can't
want to be
blame
lonely here. If you guys want to join us tonight, we'll be on the air 8:00 tonight. Quick show.
Absolutely.
You guys can, as Eric said so succinctly, take the bull by the horns, or Eric by the tail. And, we'll talk about we'll just talk about what you say tonight.
Yeah, how about that? And of course, we can keep it, Giants related if we can.
Yeah.
Or if there's who knows, maybe some big news breaks later on today. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll see.
Before we get out of here, let's take a look at the standings here. You
Yep.
got San Diego sitting atop, the number 1 wild card, Diamondbacks number 2, Mets and Braves tied again. That's why we're saying this is going to be fun to watch, man. This is, we're not in playoff baseball yet, but this has got the playoff vibe because they're trying to figure out who's going to take that third wild card. So watching the Mets and the Braves going down to the wire is going to be fun. Like I said,
I've heard the media in Atlanta really getting on Soler.
Imagine that.
Just saying, what is he bringing to the table? Well, we should have known that, right?
Oh,
and look at the records in the last 10, 5-5 for the Braves, and look at that mark for the Mets.
yes. Look at that. 9-1 in their last 10. Diamondbacks kind of scuffling. They're 4-6, but they were able to salvage that win against the Houston Astros. So,
lo and behold, there's 3 weeks left, Eric.
mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, the Mets could win that outright.
Ooh, yeah, maybe.
They're only 2 behind San Diego.
Yeah,
I'll
true.
tell you what on the show tonight. I'll do a deep dive on the show tonight if you don't mind. I'm going to take a look at who plays who down the stretch.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. You know what? The hell with you, chat. We're going to take the bull by the horns and we're going to direct to you what we're talking about.
Here you go. We'll do it tonight at 8. I'll see you then, Eric. See you guys, and hope you have a great Monday. We'll see you tonight for Giant Sports Talk Live.
See ya.